Imagine you're driving on the highway on an ordinary afternoon. Everything seems peaceful until another car suddenly cuts in front of you. Anger flares up inside you, and you step out of your car to confront the other driver. But what would happen if the person standing in front of you wasn't a regular person, but a dangerous criminal who has escaped the law many times? That is exactly what Stephen Cameron experienced on May 19, 1996, on the M25 motorway in England when he came face to face with Kenneth Noye, a true underworld criminal, cunning and ruthless. Kenneth Noye was no ordinary man. He had a deeply complex and terrifying criminal history that had made waves years before. The peak of his criminal career was the Brinksmat gold heist in 1983, one of the largest thefts in British history. The millions of pounds worth of stolen gold inadvertently made Noye a highly notorious figure in the criminal underworld at the time. However, Noye was not simply a gold thief. He was also notorious for his ability to evade the law and run a vast criminal network. Many times, he carefully and skillfully devised plans to escape legal punishment, which demonstrated his intelligence and cunning nature. Noye's mindset revealed arrogance and ruthlessness. He saw himself as above everyone else and believed he could commit crimes without facing any consequences. When confronting Stephen Cameron, he didn't view it as a simple argument, but as an opportunity to assert power and control. His violent actions clearly reflected his readiness to use force to resolve matters and assert his dominance. Noye's life was a series of criminal acts that he viewed as normal. His cold-blooded and ruthless behavior didn't just surface in this murder, but also in his previous criminal activities. From the gold heist to his later actions, he consistently displayed an uncontrollable mindset, posing a danger to anyone who dared to confront or stop him. On May 19, 1996, on the M25 motorway, a cruel event took place that would change Stephen Cameron's life. While driving with his girlfriend, Stephen encountered Kenneth Noye's car, a truly notorious criminal as I just mentioned, when Noye deliberately made a dangerous move to take the road. This situation immediately created an overwhelming sense of tension and unease. For Stephen, Noye's actions were a serious provocation. Insulted and angry, he decided to stop the car to talk things out with the other driver. Stephen believed he could resolve the issue peacefully, but he had no idea that his opponent was a seasoned and highly dangerous criminal. Kenneth Noye had a completely different mindset. He had lived in the underworld for a long time, where violence and power were valued above all else. For Noye, the argument with Stephen wasn't just a regular traffic incident, but an opportunity to assert his control and authority. His ruthlessness was evident in the swift act of drawing a knife and attacking Stephen without a moment's hesitation or remorse. Kenneth Noye's attack unfolded swiftly in just a few seconds, a time frame too brief for anyone to change the situation at that moment. Stephen Cameron was no exception. He didn't have enough time to react to the sudden attack from the man in front of him. Everything happened so quickly that he couldn't mount any defensive response. The scene at that moment left Stephen's girlfriend and the witnesses in shock and panic. The image of Stephen lying on the ground with blood flowing around him created a strong impression of the brutality Noye was capable of. This event highlighted Noye's danger and caused everyone present at the scene to experience an indescribable level of psychological trauma. Stephen's girlfriend, who witnessed the entire event, had to face tremendous pain and terror. Not only did she lose her boyfriend, but she was also haunted by the rapid and brutal scene. This traumatic experience left deep psychological wounds, significantly impacting her mental health. The crisis and sense of helplessness from witnessing Stephen's attack became a painful part of her life. After committing the brutal murder on the M25 motorway, Kenneth Noye immediately fled the scene. This action wasn't a spur-of-the-moment reaction, but part of a carefully prepared plan to evade the law. With extensive experience from his previous crimes, Noye knew exactly how to deal with the authorities and stay one step ahead of the law. Immediately after fleeing the scene, Noye turned to his connections in the criminal underworld to facilitate his escape. He had established a tight network of contacts, relying on support from friends and allies within the underground world. These relationships would help him prepare for a smooth and successful escape abroad. In a short time, Noye left England and moved to Spain. He believed that the law in England would have a hard time reaching him there. However, moving abroad wasn't a simple task. Noye had to face several risks, from concealing his identity to dealing with international law enforcement agencies. While Noye was seeking refuge and building his own protective system, the police began to encounter difficulties in their investigation. Investigators faced the daunting task of tracking down a cunning and seasoned criminal with an extensive international network. The search for Noye was not only a major challenge for the police, but also a tense race against time. British authorities have coordinated with international organizations to increase efforts to find Noye. They used every method and tool available to track him down, from analyzing financial transactions to monitoring communications. Meanwhile, Noye cleverly remained one step ahead of the authorities by continuing to use his relationships to create cover and maintain his hiding. In the process of bringing Kenneth Noye to justice, Stephen Cameron's girlfriend played an incredibly important role. As the sole primary witness to the murder, she witnessed everything, from Noye's brutal gaze to the moment Stephen collapsed in a pool of blood. Despite enduring prolonged grief and severe psychological trauma, she courageously stood up to testify in court without fear of retaliation from his network. The British police relied on her testimony to identify Noye's identity and characteristics. Her detailed and accurate descriptions provided crucial information that helped them narrow the search. Thanks to her perseverance, the police were able to follow the trail and eventually track down Noye in Spain, where he had been hiding after committing the crime. This process was far from simple. Arresting and bringing Noye back to the United Kingdom required close cooperation between international law enforcement agencies, along with considerable efforts from investigators and the government. Every step in the pursuit of Noye was met with difficulties and challenges, from tracking his international movements to handling the complex legal issues related to bringing him back to the United Kingdom. It was a long and arduous process. The courage and resilience of the witness helped sustain the momentum of the investigation. She played a crucial role in Noye's capture and ensured that justice was served. In the end, Kenneth Noye was arrested and extradited to the United Kingdom, where he finally faced the crimes he had spent years trying to evade. After being arrested and extradited to the United Kingdom, Kenneth Noye had to face the court at Old Bailey, where all of his criminal actions were brought to light. During this trial, the evidence regarding the murder of Stephen Cameron was presented very clearly, and Noye's criminal history was also revisited, which further emphasized the picture of his danger and ruthlessness. The presence of Stephen Cameron's girlfriend at the trial created an atmosphere that was both poignant and filled with sorrow. She took the stand to testify and provided important information about what she had witnessed. Her testimony, along with that of other witnesses, reinforced the evidence against Noye. Despite Noye's cold and closed-off demeanor, the truth could not be concealed. The irrefutable evidence and powerful testimonies exposed the full extent of his brutality. In 2000, Kenneth Noye was sentenced to life imprisonment for murder. This sentence demonstrated the strength of the legal system in handling serious crimes. It sent a powerful message about justice and the effectiveness of the legal system in protecting victims and punishing criminal behavior. Though the pain and loss that Stephen Cameron's family endured can never be fully compensated, this sentence helped bring them a sense of justice. The case also strengthened public trust in the legal system's ability to maintain justice and protect the community. Kenneth Noye's case went beyond the investigation and capture of a dangerous criminal. It also sparked heated debates about traffic violence and our street behavior culture. Stephen Cameron's tragedy is a stark reminder that what begins as a seemingly trivial argument can quickly escalate into horrific violence if emotions are not controlled. Conflicts on the highway often evoke negative emotions, but knowing how to restrain oneself and stay calm can salvage many situations from catastrophic outcomes. Impulsive and thoughtless behavior can lead us into dangerous situations, and the consequences can also impact many others around us. The life sentence handed down to Noye is the final closure for all of his actions over the past years. It underscores the importance of remaining calm and behaving appropriately in all situations. The story of Stephen Cameron and Kenneth Noye serves as a valuable lesson in emotional control and responsible behavior in every circumstance. If you want to follow other shocking cases, please like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our captivating crime stories. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.